discussing Numbers 25. When we finished the last series, it was on chapter 24. That had to do with the last portion of Balaam when he returned to his home after God denied him the pleasure of cursing Israel and making financial gain from Balak. How can he curse whom God has blessed? It's one of the profound statements in those last 3 chapters. But today, unfortunately, we'll see the trick of Balaam and what it led Israel to do. Before I read chapter 25, verse 1 to 3, I need to quickly give you 3 verses in the New Testament where God spoke about Balaam. And the first one, it talks about the doctrine, the way of Balaam in 2 Peter 2 verse 15. The way of Balaam, we talked about covetousness. He was seeking the rewards of divination and curses from Balak. Even though God asked him not to go, he kept going to God, kept troubling God till God reluctantly said go. So the way of Balaam is the way of covetousness. And then in the book of Jude, verse 11, the Bible talks about the error of Balaam. What was the error of Balaam? Balaam did not know that you cannot curse someone that God has blessed, that you cannot curse someone that is righteous. He thought it was possible for him to curse. But before God, Israel was righteous at that time. And so every attempt for Balaam to curse Israel was not possible. And so Jude referred to it as the error of Balaam. So the error is not understanding the fact of the grace of God upon a child of God, that the enemy thought they can mess around with. It is an error, because their counsel will never stand. And then the third area where the Bible in the New Testament talked about Balaam is what was referred to as the doctrine of Balaam. And that you find in Revelation chapter 2, verse 14. And I'll read that before I go to Numbers 25, verse 1, so you can understand the context by which Numbers 25, verse 1 and above, verse 1 going, the context by which they were written. In Revelations 2:14, I'll read that. It says, "But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication." So in Numbers 24, we learned that Balaam went to his house. However, the next chapter 25, we've discovered that Israel began to commit fornication and idolatry with the children of Moab, that Balaam could not cause. Now, in Numbers 25, the Bible didn't tell us what happened, how they went about it. However, is when you now read Revelation chapter 2, verse 14, that what happened in Numbers 25 was now written. That when Balaam was leaving, he gave a counsel to Balak, saying, Balak, the only way you can defeat the children of Israel is if you send your daughters, the daughters of your land, into their midst to marry them and to help change their minds from serving the living God to serving the idols of Balak. And that was exactly what Balak did. But it was Revelations 2:20-14 that revealed the truth to us. You won't find it in Numbers at all. But Numbers 25 just told us that children of Israel were having relationship with the Moabites. So let's go now, having this foundational understanding. Let's now go to Numbers 25 and I'll read from verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods. And the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself to Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. So you see, Numbers 25 didn't tell us how the event happened until you read Revelations 2 verse 14. So it was Balaam that gave the strategy to Balak, and Israel fell for it. And a lot of Israelites died because of that. So let's move on. In verse 4, and the Lord said to Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them before the Lord against the sun, that the first anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every man of his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. So you see that God had to quickly do a quick work before idolatry consumed the whole of the children of the Israelites. And then in verse 6-9, a situation happened. I'll read them. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, and rose from among the congregation, took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through. And the man of Israel and the woman through her belly. So the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. And verse 9 says, and those that died in the plague were 24,000. So because of the idolatry that the children of Israel started to commit, God said to Moses that instantly they should weed out those who have already committed idolatry, and they should deal with them. And the plague of the Lord also went massively into the camp, and 24,000 people died quickly, speedily, swiftly. And there was the guy who was called Phinehas, who was one of the grandchildren of Aaron. He took a spear and he went after an Israelite who went home with one of the Midianites women. When the children of Israel were weeping, he had the boldness to go into his tent to go and commit fornication. And this guy, Phinehas, went in with a javelin and he killed the man and the woman. And God said that death was justified. The ways of God are unknown to man. The ways of God are beyond searching out. Even though God said, thou shalt not kill. But in that instance, the guy fought for the Lord. And God justified the killing that he did. And the covenant of priesthood was given to Phinehas. Let me read that in from verse 10. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, I turned away my wrath. I turned my wrath away from the children of Israel, while it was zealous for my sake among them, that I consume not the children of Israel in my jealousy. Wherefore say, behold, I give unto him my covenant of peace. Because of the act of Phinehas, God said he has given him the covenant of peace. Kai. He says, and he shall have it and his seed after him, even the covenant of everlasting priesthood. That's the second one. Because he was zealous for his God and made an atonement for the children of Israel. Now the name of the Israelite that was slain, even that was slain with the Midianitish woman, was Zimri, the son of Selu, the prince of a house of the Simeonite. And the name of the Midianitish woman that was slain was Cosbi, the daughter of Zor. He was head over a people and a chief in the house of Midian. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, vex the Midianites and smite them. Says, for they vex you with their wiles, wherewith they have beguiled you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of the prince of Midian, their sister, which was slain in the day of the plague for Peor's sake. So you see, God swiftly dealt with sin. Beloved, there's only thing that can cause a separation between you and God. It is sin. Run away from sin. As long as you live a holy life before the Lord, see, the sea may rage, the storm may be boisterous. The Lord will preserve you. God justified the judgment that Phinehas made on those two people, on that couple. Even though God says you shall not kill, that one, God approved it. See you at the next chapter. God bless you.